Prometheus Patras versus Besiktas Sompo Japan. We're in Western Greece, the third largest city in Greece. We're in Patras for Group D action in the Basketball Champions League. Good evening and welcome. It's game day 4 already, and the excitement just keeps building, and especially with the newcomers in this competition. Prometheus Patras, who have had a fantastic start to the Basketball Champions League, unbeaten in the regular season. These are the games so far, game day 4 from this group. Ostend losing to Petra Olympia, and Bologna beating Medi Bayraut. Medi Bayraut are winless at the moment. This is the table as it stands. Bologna are on top, Patras are in third, and Besiktas Sompo Japan are in 6th. It's a great story, as this venue fills up the Dimitris Tofoulis Arena. It will be electric here tonight. They will be wanting to go, Prometheus Patras, to 4-0. And there's one of the top Besiktas players, Robin Benzing. And there is Alexander. Joe Alexander, a lot expected of him. The first Taiwanese-born player to be drafted in the NBA. He has an Israeli and American passport. And on the other side, Octavius Ellis having some fun there with Langston Hall pre-game. Ellis out of Cincinnati College, averaging 7.7 points per game. And there is the Besiktas coach, Ivanovic Dusko, Montenegrin. And this is the Besiktas roster. Look out for Veseloglu, Joe Alexander, Benzing, Kenan Sipahi's been playing for the Turkish national team. He's only 6'3", but he's really long, and has been very effective at both ends of the floor so far. And this is the Prometheus lineup. Look out for Lapovi, Nikos Gikas, Michalis Serelis, Christos Salustris, Octavius Ellis, and Terrell Parks, who hasn't played yet in the Basketball Champions League, is also part of the Prometheus Patras squad, as Besiktas, the visitors, are introduced. And there's Sipahi, he's fired up tonight. Besiktas have never lost against Greek opposition in the Basketball Champions League in their 4 games, and 3 of those games have been by more than 10 points. The way Prometheus have been playing, they won it in the Greek League, the Greek A1 at the weekend, beating AEK Athens by 10. Obviously the defending Basketball Champions League champions. So they are on a good roll, in a good place, and this arena is a great place to be watching basketball at the moment. Exactly what the Basketball Champions League is about. This team 4 years ago was in the 4th tier of Greek basketball. They won consecutive Division 4, Division 3 titles, then were able to move up due to a team dropping out, but they finished 4th last year, as this venue is unbelievable noise. Can hardly hear myself think. Hope you can hear me there on the transmission. And then last year they finished 4th in the Greek A1 League, and that has given them the opportunity to play in the Basketball Champions League regular season. Having great fun is Octavius Ellis with the young children that are allowed to be on court and just be part of this amazing atmosphere. And this will be a fantastic event tonight, whatever the score. Two coaches, Makis Giatris and Ivanovic Dusko. Dusko, of course, Ivanovic Dusko was a top player, and he played on the Jugoplastika split team who won 2 EuroLeagues, 1989 and 90, with the likes of Toni Kukoc and Dino Radja. And as a head coach, he's won league titles in Spain, France, Switzerland, and has been the national team head coach for Switzerland and Bosnia and Herzegovina. He's 61 years old now. He's on a 1-year deal for Besiktas. And if you look to the other side, the coach for Prometheus, Makis Giatris, I'll come to him very shortly. Here's the referees: Glisic, Alexander, Horosov, Martin, and Chichi Gentian. Always the best FIBA officials for the second tier pan-European competition now behind EuroLeague, from team positions from last season who are in the Basketball Champions League and amount of countries that are being represented. Here is the Besiktas starting five: Veseloglu, Alexander, Sipahi, Buva and Jason Rich. Now Jason Rich has just come off Italian League MVP in points, the top point scorer and the most valuable player for the Italian League. And when he played in Paris, he was on the All-Star selection there in 2017. There's Dusko Ivanovic. I've already given you a brief bio of him, full of experience, top-level coaching, and he's got a big job here with Besiktas. And this is the Prometheus Patras starting five: Nikos Gikas, Christos Salustras, Tony Mea, Rion Brown and Octavius Ellis. And Tony Mea is having a massive season so far as well. He's averaging 15.3 points a game, 100% from the free throw line, 72.7% from two, and 56.3 from three, and nearly 2 steals a game. And there is Makis Giatris. He has been the head coach with Prometheus. He's been a coach since 1996. He's been the head coach since 2013. He's also been the sporting director at Prometheus Patras. And now from Division 4 to the Greek A1. Their season so far, they're doing well this season as well. They're 9th. They are of a record of 2-2. And as I say, they beat AEK Athens by 10 at the weekend. And Besiktas also won their domestic league game as well. Besiktas are 4th in the Turkish BSL. They're 2-2, and they beat Istanbul BBSK 87-83 at the weekend. So this is all set up perfectly. Besiktas Sompo Japan will be desperate to come back from last week's defeat by Strasbourg. They lost by 7 at home. And Prometheus Patras beating Mehdi Bayrout 70-75 on the road. So full of confidence. And we will have Octavius Ellis versus Joe Alexander to tip it off. And we are underway in Western Greece, in Patras. Sit down, enjoy yourself. It's Basketball Champions League game day 4 on a Wednesday evening. It's Halloween night. Will it be Fright Night for Patras, for Mathias Patras, or for Besiktas? Float is just short by Rion Brown. A lot expected of young Rion Brown. .66", 27 years old. Shots up for Alexander is good for 2. Mid-range jump shot for Joe Alexander. Just averaging 4 points a game in the... Excuse me, he got 4 points last week against Strasbourg. And the shot's up. Good rebound by Ellis. Big rebound. Kicks it out. Extra pass. Rion Brown. Now they've got the wide open Jay. And that is great patience from Mathias Patras. And the horns. And nice move by Ivan Buva, the Croatian who's had a very busy season last year with 3 different teams through the season and through the summer. And good defense there. Rion Brown and Sipahi with his long arms. Let's have a look. Rich, Jason Rich there. And Brown tangled up. And Besiktas get the end-line ball. And these horns are getting louder and louder, as I'm sure you can hear. It's a fantastic backdrop and creating great atmosphere here in Patras. Sipahi gives it up to Rich. Long 2 is in and out. Great rebound by Alexander, working hard. The ex-NBA player. And shots up from the corner. It's just long for Veseloglu, the lefty. And Octavius Ellis running straight to the rim, as a big man should do, and he certainly is a big player. 6'10". There's Ellis, and that Sipahi's fouled. And Ivanovic Dusko is absolutely livid again. So passionate. Demands so much from his team. And the foul on Nikos Gikas. And the shot is good. And Buva up to 4 points early, 100% from 2-point range. Penetrate kick. Oh, and the 2's good. Tony Mea. They move the ball so well. Tony Meyer at the line. And he makes the 3-point play. And Prometheus Patras puts some pressure on just to try and slow Sipahi down, and he left the floor, but he gets it back. Penetrate kick to Rich, just short. Nikos Gikas keeping the dribble alive, and the alley-oop is finished just below the rim by Octavius Ellis. Nice pass, what a block, but there is a whistle. Octavius Ellis meeting the ball right at the rim. Alexander going up strong on the baseline. And wow, what a picture, what action. Ellis meeting Alexander at the absolute top of the mountain there, but it was foul called. And Alexander, who's 50% from the line for the season, from the free throw line, but he was 2 of 2 last week v Strasbourg. And he's 1 of 2 tonight. So the stats don't lie. Overtime. Gikas guarded by Sipahi. That's a really good matchup to watch. Ellis with the screen. Alley-oop again, brings it down. Well, it's the lob pass, but very patient play by Ellis. It's up to 6 points. 100%, great pressure. They get the steal. Rion Brown with real good defense there, but they can't capitalize fully. But they lead by 5. Under 6 minutes remaining in the first. Veseloglu. And it's a turnover. Alexander couldn't hang on to the pass, but it's a back-to-back turnover. Rion Brown couldn't get to that. And Christos Salustris puts his hands up, but great intent, and that's what I think the crowd are appreciating. And Giratris, he just wants this team to push, and they're very talented. They move the ball so well, real good chemistry. The fairy tale story of Greek basketball is being played out before your eyes in the Basketball Champions League. Just one is a break in play. Please do download the Basketball Champions League app and subscribe to livebasketball.tv, which is, of course, where you're watching the action tonight. All the video clips, highlights, interviews, podcast, great articles, and all the results, all the individual stats, team stats that you could possibly want, all in one place on the Basketball Champions League app. Only takes a few moments to download, and it's absolutely free. So Veseloglu's going to inbound. Back cut, nice back cut from Buva. And the break is finished off by Prometheus, and they're up by 7. Salustris finishing off the break there. He's up to 5 points. Sipahi. Ball's thrown up. Floaters good by Veseloglu. And this is a big block by Rion Brown coming from the blind side, which ignited the fast break. Unfortunately, Ellis has sprained his ankle there, I think, or certainly tweaked his ankle. That's a big blow. And he's shaking his head. And it just went, oh, he's just tweaked it, I think. Or is he going to tweak it now as he comes down? Look away if you don't like that sort of action, and it really was a hard twist. So he'll be in the treatment room to see what the extent of the damage is. Great backdoor lob! What a move! Rion Brown, great backdoor. Great camera angle, what a pass from Gikas. Slam dunk. Rion Brown. He only got, last week, 20 minutes, 2 points. He's come out really aggressive tonight. Statement play there. Highlight play from Rion Brown. Back cut there. Inside. Over the top. Pass! And Joe Alexander throws it down. Double team came, but it came too far under. And these teams are putting on a good show for the Basketball Champions League. Shots up. Just long by Salustris. Buva manoeuvring really well. Ivan Buva coming off 16 points last week, and he's been really influential so far for Besiktas in the early going. Turns one way, steps through, and surrounded by Salustris. And look at that picture of devastation and pain. Octavius Ellis. Devastation in a basketball sense, an injury sense. Having twisted my ankle in my playing days, I know the pain. Whether you're coming down on someone's foot, that is the worst. If you're airborne and then coming down, that is the worst one. Shots up, just off. And Jason Rich brings it down for Besiktas. High screen from Buva. Wanting to be part of the action. He's inside. Watch the 3 seconds, Buva. He comes out, sets the high screen and roll. Gikas, Buva lost it. And great effort by Salustris, knowing it came off. Well, he thought it came off Prometheus hand, and we're not sure, but he was out of bounds as he saved it. So Besiktas end line ball. Sipahi will inbounds. And Sipahi, part of the played in the World Cup qualifiers earlier this year. And they've changed the inbound of Veseloglu coming in. So let's see how this develops. They just get the ball in. Jason Rich inside, Buva off 1 foot. He's finished off 2 and he's finished off 1 foot. Getting Buva involved early. Langston Hall in the game. And Samet Gayek. Excuse me, Michalis Cerilis is in as well for, and good defense there on the screen and roll, came all the way out and recovered back. Oh, nice play by Alexander, but he couldn't finish. Langston Hall hesitation, kicks it out. Excellent ball move at Salustris. Is a travel. He could have, defense was closing out on him. Yeah, he had a shot there. The closeout was late. And he does like the three-point shot. Sipahi not being used. Veseloglu moves up. Sipahi on the far side now. Shot clock running down. Shot needs to go up. Step back. And the shot does go up just before the buzzer. Jason Rich with a delicious move. And Besiktas now up by 2 after trailing early on the road. Jab step, dribble, step back. We saw that with Jan Spam for Petro Olympia last night. Same result, different venue. Great atmosphere here in Patras. And it's a Prometheus timeout.
Hey. Πρέπει να πιέσουν, να βγουν και ψηλά να πιέσουν. We need to press. Μη σταματάτε να πιέσουν. Do not stop pressing. Να μην πάρει την μπάλα εδώ, είπα να κάνουμε φάουλ. Όχι να βάζει καλά. Foul if necessary. Play. Κασέλ. Τόνι. Play tall. Pick and roll for 5. Uppercut, hey. Spacey, good spacey. Πάμε, go. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
That's good assists for both teams, 7 assists. They're averaging 17 and 18 assists a game, so they do like to share the ball, and the ball doesn't stick too much. It's very pleasing on the eye to watch these two teams play, and such a Two evenly matched teams, and Besiktas up by 2. Kasselakis is in for Prometheus. Langston Hall. That's a tough shot, and it's off the glass. The bank is open in Patras, Western Greece, and he puts his hand up. Don't worry, young man. Take every basket coming to you. Rich. Sipahi. Buva with the screen. Buva couldn't get upstairs for the lob, but excellent recovery by Veseloglu, and he gets it back. Kick out, Sipahi for 3. Just off, nearly gets the rebound. It's Salustris, and another 3 is up just short by Kasselakis. It's so up and down. Langston Hall is good for 3. Greek League All-Star in 2018 and showing exactly why there. And it's almost a steal. Dangerous pass attended for Veseloglu. And Kasselakis nearly getting the... Oh, he got 1.5 hands on it. But Langston Hall, as cool as you like, just dribbled to his spot. Defense didn't come out, so he knocks it down. There's the 3-point stats, 43 and 33%. Oh, big slam dunk. Joe Alexander just exploded. And that's the end of the first quarter in Patras, Greece. And look at this slam dunk baseline. Joe Alexander getting to the summit and throwing it down. End of the first. Prometheus 22, Besiktas 20. There's the game statistics. 60% and 62% from 2. Free throws, 100%. Prometheus have just taken 1 free throw and 33% for Besiktas early doors. Here's some of the highlights. It's been some real nice highlight plays. Prometheus started strongly, but then Besiktas took the lead. And now that is a great highlight play for Rion Brown. Perfect execution along the baseline. Boethius just brought the Besiktas defense up, giving the space for the back cut. So it's a 2-point game going into the second quarter. So I hope you're enjoying the action. And we're underway in the second quarter. Langston Hall, number 1. Just little jump hook is just off. And Phil Pressey in the game for the guard for Besiktas. Cross-court pass. Kyle Gibson in, air ball. He'll want to make up for that quickly. Maybe he can do it on this defensive possession. Rion Brown. Brown through the legs for 3 is off. It's real high octane offense from Prometheus. And a 5-second call. Great defense again. They're so willing to press. Prometheus so willing, and they get the good result. They are the #1 team for forcing turnovers. They've forced 20 turnovers a game so far in the Basketball Champions League, and that is #1 in that statistic out of all the competing teams. So great job there. And just as the shot clock expired, great shot again by Rion Brown. He's having excellent game. And they've called it off. Yeah, that's a great call as well. It got to 0 just before he let it go. There's a little foul in there as well from Carl Gibson, which the refs didn't see, but they got that call correct. Gibson. Boover setting a down screen, and now a cross screen. Shots up and off. But good job by Boover. Behind the back from Langston Hall. Rich, Boover. Nice play between Rich and Boover. And Ivan Boover having a really good big game, up to 10 points already. Langston Hall guarded closely by Pressey. The two #1s. Langston Hall maybe could have just gone himself. Trying to get it to Sarelis, and there was help coming across. Robin Benzing was right there to knock it away. Ball's loose, and that's a turnover from Prometheus. Pressey back to one too many passes. That's good transition defense, but not by Besiktas. Sarelis just runs straight through the middle of the Besiktas defense for an easy open layup. Coach Dusko's going to be going crazy on the sideline. Prometheus, they're so fit, they run, they're so willing to run both ways. Shots up is long. And Boover under close attention from Kasilakis. And Sarelis, last touch possibly was by Prometheus. Yeah, that was blocked. Langston Hall pulls up and it's just short. Rebound, Pressey, can he get this one right? Penetrate kick, Benzing pulls up for a 2, just off. Rion Brown, 25. Pulls up for a 3, I think that was Nikos Gikas. Missing the 3, Benzing looking for options, hands it off to Pressey. High screen, Boover. Pressey kicks, shots up from the far side is good by Carl Gibson. Nice job by Carl. Missed the early 2-pointer, stretches it out to 3 and knocks it down. And there's a whistle off the ball. Joe Alexander waiting to come in. First Taiwanese player, born NBA player when he was drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks. Played for a couple of NBA teams in the G League, and now he's in the Basketball Champions League, playing some good closeout defense there for his new team, Besiktas. Pressey. Pass across, shots up from the corner is just off by Benzing, and a big rebound by Rion Brown. Langston Hall. What a pass! Same pass, but this time the defense went with Rion Brown, but Kasselakis, what a finish. Right at the basket, no dunk, just lays it over with a sweet finger roll. That was a tough move, required a lot of touch, and he pulled it off perfectly. Gibson into Alexander, tough move, just couldn't quite get the touch, gets his own rebound, misses that. And a real battle under the boards between Prometheus and baseline is Gikas, and wrap around for two. Nice job, off the wrong foot as well, that's a tough play, but straight away. I think that was Pressey, so quick the camera wasn't quite there, but quick two by Pressey, he's up to 2 points. Oh, wonderful pass. Kasselakis on another back cut. They just drag the Besiktas defense up high. And there's plenty of room in behind to cut to the hoop without the ball. Wonderful movement without the ball. Alexander with the ball. Benzing penetrates and is fouled by Sareelis. And some words being exchanged as Sareelis came across. Not a lot of contact, but enough seen by the ref to send Robin Benzing to the line. Second free throw missed. So Prometheus, under 4 remaining in the second quarter. Gikas using the screen by Sareelis. Still Gikas, and he knocks down the mid-range 2 from the baseline. 4-point lead. Pressey, still Pressey. And Gikas with the foul. Well, that was a foul and a travel, but the foul was before the travel. Yildiz in, number 19 for Besiktas. Burak Yildiz. Inside, but another turnover by Prometheus. Reminder that they are number 1 in forcing the team to turn the ball over. The opposition at 20 per game. Give and go again! And that's a block, but it hit the backboard first, and coach Giratris, it's just simple basketball. The killer bounce pass, clearly off the backboard first, before Udeze could block it away. Just defense looking at the ball too much, turning their heads. And another assist for Prometheus. They're up to 12 assists already against Besiktas 10. And here's the game leaders just up on your screen. And Besiktas, Buva with 10 points, 3 rebounds, and Jason Rich with 4 assists. Besiktas with 5 turnovers, same as Prometheus. So here's some highlights. And that was Buva, who's having a good game. 10 points, 5 of 8 from 2-point range, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Having a good all-round game, and that must be 4 or 5 times that Prometheus have been able to get in behind the Besiktas defence unimpeded for easy 2 points. And obviously, a couple of those, Rion Brown with the slam, and then the really tough touch with the finger roll. Being able to hang in the air and just drop it over the front of the hoop. Buva in the post. 6-point lead for Prometheus. And good. Disley gave up the 3 there where he was open, and then he's penetrated off the fake into traffic, and the ball's been knocked away, but still Besiktas ballers, Benzing and Sipahi. Rest on the bench. Shots up by Veseloglu. No good. And Besiktas have just in a lull at the moment. Prometheus are in the ascendancy yet again, yet to be beaten in the Basketball Champions League. Oh, nice defense. Pressing with the D, now he's pressing the other way. Almost loses the ball. Disley hands it off. Pressey, still Pressey. Long 3 is up, misses. Good rebound by Salustris, and a foul by Pressey. Yeah. Pressey at just 5'10". Salustris at 6'8" was always going to win that battle. Langston Hall, 2 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Hope you're enjoying Basketball Champions League action. Brought to you on livebasketball.tv. Deep 3 is just long by Gikas. Buva with a rebound. Building a really impressive stat sheet on the road here for Besiktas. Pressey inside. And off the glass is Burak Yildizni. Cross-court pass was dangerous. That's good play by Yildizni. Pressey inside, Buva couldn't finish. Yildizni with an offensive rebound. Misses. And Kasalakis with the defensive rebound. Gikas off the screen. Extravagant one-handed bounce pass. Shots up for 3 is long. And goes behind off the top of the backboard. Just couldn't get that to go, but good hustle, good intent by Disley, and you can see what Coach Dusko thinks of that.
Go
There's some of the statistics going through. Pick out what you will. And one of the spectators just taking a rest. Half-time is coming up, so rest, recuperation and refreshment will be the order of the day before we go again. And Buva up and under move, and they just struggling to deal with Ivan Buva when he gets inside the key deep. And Coach Giatris not happy with that. And threes up is just long by Kasselakis. And Besiktas can have the last shot of the quarter. And Coach Ivanovic will really want that to be a good option. And Prometheus, they have fouls to give, as do Besiktas. Both teams only had 2 fouls prior to this one. So that's a smart play, getting the foul in, and a legal attempt on the ball before Besiktas can get a shot up. 6 seconds remaining now, and another steal, another turnover forced. Oh, and great steal, great play, but nothing came of it. At half-time, it's Prometheus Patras 34, Besiktas Sompo Japan 32. And there's the game statistics. "12 assists for Prometheus, 11 for Besiktas, 5 steals from Prometheus. 7 turnovers to 6. And the game leaders, Buva with 12, Ellis with 6 for Prometheus, Kasselakis with 4 rebounds. And the points, Ellis, Kasselakis, Salustris lead for Prometheus, and Buva, Alexander and Gibson lead for Besiktas, Buva being the high man for the game. So evenly matched, these two teams tonight. It's Turkey versus Greece. Remember, Besiktas have never lost to Greek opposition in the Basketball Champions League. Are they about to break that streak, a streak they don't want to break, and to go down to Prometheus in Patras? Prometheus unbeaten. Besiktas the 5th and 1 and 2, so they won't want to be dropping any further. Prometheus have lost Octavius Ellis, their starter, to an ankle sprain. But Rion Brown has come up massive, especially with that play and the block before that. It's been high-flying, high-octane action. So we'll leave you with the highlights during the half-time break as Jason Rich knocks down that step-back 3. Download the Basketball Champions League app, give you all the information you require for this game and all the games that have gone on over game day 4 and are going to be going on later on this evening. So don't go anywhere. We've got a great one here in Patras, Western Greece, as Joe Alexander comes to the dunk party. See you very shortly for second half action. Welcome back to Patras in Western Greece. This Basketball Champions League action between Prometheus Patras and Besiktas Sompo Japan. And Prometheus have a 2-point lead. It's been a hotly contested first half, and one worrying sign for Prometheus is that Octavius Ellis, who'd got off to a really smart start, went down with an ankle injury. So we hope for his sake that he's going to be okay and that he can return to the game, or if not tonight, we'll be back very shortly, because he started the game very well and is a big player for the home team. So just to remind you, Prometheus Patras are 3-0. Besiktas Sompo Japan are 1-2 in this group. The group is led by Bologna of Italy. Let's listen in. So coach Giatris.
Όταν παίζει ο Αλεξάνδερ, χέρμα τον Αλεξάνδερ. Overhead. When Alexander plays, you can help everybody. He's doing red? Yes, we play the same. Right side, red, left, 2-2. Ενώ παίζει στο δεύτερο, αν παίζει ο κοντός, ο κοντός ο playmaker, το πρώτο είναι under. If pressing plays in the game, or the short guy, the short playmaker, first pick is under.
So coach Giatris with an interpreter getting his message across. Pressure the playmaker, the small player, which if Phil presses on is going to be, I guess, him. And there's the item that's been making all the noise in this arena tonight. And of course, Prometheus Patras have been making all the noise in the Basketball Champions League this year. Great to have them on board. And they are playing fantastic basketball. So we're underway in the third quarter. It's Group D, Basketball Champions League. And Besiktas have the first possession with Benzing. Jason Rich. Still Jason Rich. Spins. Nice move, but he couldn't finish. Boover again in the thick of it to Sipahi. Oh, great spin by Boover, but good defense. Terrell Parks in the game. He's an interesting character as well. And they nearly had it. They did have it. Unfortunately, the first thing that Terrell Parks has done has been involved in a turnover. We'll have to have a look at that again to see who was the last touch. And coach Giatris has got to calm down. He can't be gesticulating like that, otherwise he will get a technical. And that'd be the last thing his team requires in such a close game, and a massive game for our Prometheus Patras. Sipahi inside to Benzing, and first it was Boover, now Benzing getting inside the big German. Too much size in there for Kasalakis. Benzing at 6'10". Boover at 6'9", and now Rion Brown is having to be. That's the inch. As the horns just sound out, trying to put Benzing off, and it doesn't work on this occasion, and Coach Dusko Ivanovic calling the play. So we had the free throw there. Maybe I think a technical was given. So free throw, now possession for Besiktas. Jason Rich into Buva. Back to Rich. Shot clock is nearly down. He's going to have to put it up. It's long. And good boxing out there by Terrell Parks. Shots up and is good by Rion Brown. Downtown Rion Brown. Having a big game tonight, just when his club needs it. Sipahi, oh, it's a steal. Look out, Brown in the open floor. Oh my, you've got to love this game. Basketball Champions League action of the highest order. And Brown off the three, then gets an open court flush. 6-point lead for Prometheus. Nice quick pass. Alexander inside, but they couldn't handle it. Just a touch too much. Taiwanese Source on the pass, and look at the crowd behind the basket that Prometheus are defending. Langston Hall. The story continues for Prometheus. Terrell Parks, nice screen. No one came out, no one recovered to Hall. And he had a wide open shot at the elbow, or the top edge of the key. Rich, now Prometheus stepping out on the pick and roll. Sipahi inside, Buva just brings that ball up and over really nicely from left to right. They got both the bigs, that Buva and Sipahi and Alexander out there, trying to give him some rim protection and size. Same shot. So close. Here comes Besiktas, foul by Rion Brown. Jason Rich. And Tony Meyer. Rich almost slowed down, and Rion Brown didn't, and that's how the foul was committed. End line inbounds for Besiktas. They get it in safely. Samet Gayic is in the game. He's in the post, not required. Alexander knocks down the three. Or was that a long two? Oh, Rion Brown gets hung up in the air, and he just couldn't get the finish. Sipahi into Alexander. 4-point lead. It's been close throughout. Gayic with the nice screen for his countryman. All the way across. Alexander checks, he's behind the three-point line, and he was, and he makes it. And Coach Giatris with a wry smile. You've got to admire the coolness of Joe Alexander, the former NBA player, showing his skills and concentration there for Besiktas. Tony Meyer hands off Rion Brown under pressure. And it went down, front of the rim and down, and Rion Brown's good night for Prometheus continues. Alexander straddling the three. Little fade away, just misses. Langston Hall. Kasalakis. Terrell Parks was rolling to the hoop. Inside, Meyer. Good defense there by Kenan Sipahi. Substitution for Prometheus. And Terrell Parks comes out. Shots up, and Meyer, Tony Meyer, is fouled, and he'll go to the line for 3 shots. He's 56.3% from the three-point line. He's 100% from the free-throw line so far in the Basketball Champions League, and averaging over 15 points a game. Last week, he had 17 points in 17 minutes against Midi Bayrout. But he's missed one tonight. He missed the first there. He gets one more. Prometheus just edging ahead, and he's missed 2 of 3. Commentator's curse, but great hustle by Serelis. Serelis there, and Kasselakis under pressure. And they almost turn it over. They've got to shoot. They do. And they're just off, and the fighting under the balls is brilliant. Sipahi, penetrate kick, Benzing fouled. Great thrust by Besiktas there, with Kenan Sipahi leading the charge. And Tony Meyer too quick on the nice play by Kenan Sipahi. Great job by the Turkish international. Breon Brown. Langston Hall. Keeping his dribble alive behind the back. Couple of crossovers. Step back. Tough shot. Don't think Coach Giatris will be happy with that. He likes the ball to move. Doesn't want to get it stuck with one person. That's great pass and a great finish underneath by Samet Gayic. Didn't play last week against Strasbourg. Strong move. Tony Meyer. And more pressure from Prometheus, and that's a foul. Breon Brown with the foul. Just a little bit too much force there on the press. Pressy back in. And Sipahi comes out. Gayic. He's got good size, Samet Gayic, 6'9", 25 years old. Jason Rich. Underneath! That was too high for Alexander, but if that had come off, that would have brought the house down, whoever you're supporting. Shots up from deep, it's off right. That's a quick shot. And almost another steal. Getting up in the passing lanes, Kasselakis. And coach Dusko Ivanovic just asking. In the referees here. Here comes Salustris for Prometheus. And Tony Meyer, after that quick three-pointer, exits. Jason Rich. Inside, Samit Gajic is doing great stuff, using all of his 6'9" to good effect. And good pressure again, Phil Pressey up, putting pressure on the inbounds. And now Ivanovic wants the pressure on. He wants his players up the court. And it's a timeout here in Patras, Western Greece. Hope you're enjoying the action. It's Group D of the Basketball Champions League. And the game is tied at 46.
Kasser inbounds the ball. Kasser go out. Line. Gikas. Εδώ ψηλά. Gikas, stay high. Ρίον. Τσάι. Εψαλού. Κινήσου. Εσύ ότι θα πάρεις την μπάλα. Okay, no pass the ball. Moves to get the ball. Ο άλλος εδώ. Ο άλλος στη γωνία και ο Τσαϊρέλης θα πάρει την μπάλα μπροστά. And Chai gets the ball forward. Κάτσε την μπάλα με τα δύο χέρια. Grab the ball with two hands.
So this game continues to be hotly contested, so close. Players stepping up like Samit Gajic, who's come in and done a great job. And here comes the pressure. They're going long, and that has gone completely out without, that is the worst thing that could have happened. Because now, and Coach Giatris can't believe it. Yeah, everybody calm down. To throw it from one end, from your end, and to completely miss everything, that means Besiktas get possession right under Prometheus's basket. Can they make it count? They get the rebound. Samit Gajic is playing superb basketball. Great penetrate, kick out, and then Rich deciding to attack off the dribble. Wide open shot for three is just long. Good rebound by Samit Gajic. Just doing the basics, doing the simple things. The coach will love that. Coming off the bench, Pressey up against Gikas. That's a great matchup. Rich. Remember, Prometheus having to do this without Octavius Ellis. Benzik, penetrate kick, shot clock running down. Pressey is fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2 shots. And foul by Gikas. And that, he'll go to the line for 2 shots. Pressey is 100% from the line in the Basketball Champions League. Not now. But he makes 1 from 2. High screen, and that is, yeah, that didn't look a good offense, and they're just starting to come slightly unraveled now. Prometheus. They keep the pressure on though, they won't stop keeping the pressure on. But Gikas had his hands down, and Pressey was able to get the pass to Press and give it to Benzik, who makes the 3. Is that a pivotal moment in this game? Nice finish by Cerelis. That was an awkward catch, and he gathered himself and finished with a high hand. So straight away, Prometheus back at Besiktas. So Gasikas had already turned it over once. That was almost another turnover. So chance for Cerelis to get it to a 1-point lead, but they miss. But Salustris with the offensive rebound. Almost another turnover. And there's Octavius Ellis, he's on the bench. Oh, mine, he would have enjoyed that from Nikos Gikas. Prometheus back into the lead. What a game. What a Basketball Champions League the third edition has been. Alexander out, Sipahi, no good. And just like that, the atmosphere's changed. Great pass, great catch, and finish by Rion Brown. What a superb outlet by Salustris. A bullet pass. Time running down at the end of the third. 5-second differential, game and shot clock. Pressey doing it all off the dribble. 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Sipahi inside. Samit Gayak doing a nice job for his team. And there's a foul called on Gikas, and Gayak will go to the line for 2 shots. Complete mismatch there. He just up and round and through, and what a super pass that was. Right over the inside shoulder for Rion Brown. Over the top of Pressey. It helped with Pressey being 5'10", but that pass needed to be spot on, so Rion Brown didn't have to break stride. And the noise wraps up as Samit Gayak, as cool as you like, played for the junior national team. He's played for Karşıyaka and Anadolu Efes in the Turkish league, and now with Besiktas, and he's really zoned in. He's right on his game tonight. And Tony Meyer comes in, 3-point threat, a big 3-point threat, and he's a big player. Tony Meyer at 6'8", that's a quick foul. The Sixers with a couple of fouls to give, one more to give now. 5.9 seconds remaining, and they've just readjusted it. I think the clock just readjusted to 4.9. I don't know if that was inadvertent or if the referees had asked for that. We'll just see if that gets put back up. So Gayak's 100% from 2-point land and 100% from the free throw line, doing a really good job. 6 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. That's been put back to 5.6. Every tenth of a second is crucial at this point of the game, and a 1-point lead for the home team, protecting their 3-0 record in the Basketball Champions League, their first season. Langston Hall is fouled again. Is that before the shot? Besiktas will be hoping so. Coach Ivanovic directing operations. And it's sideline again. Next foul for Besiktas will send them to the line. Tony Meyer spins. Great defense. And he ended up shooting off the... In fact, Salustris, my mistake. Salustris turns and shot it off the side of the backboard. He had to get it up quick. End of the third. Prometheus 53, Besiktas 52. free throw percentage, not great for either team. 60% and 40% into this game. They were 71% for Prometheus and 74% for Besiktas. And last week, Prometheus against Mini Bayrout were 15 of 20. And in the loss against Strasbourg, Besiktas were 11 of 13. And that was a good spell of play for Rion Brown with the big dunk in the open floor off the steal. After, that was a perfect pick and roll. Defense goes underneath the pick and roll. Pull up for your jump shot. If the big chases the guard up high off the pick and roll, leaving the other big with the guard, then get it inside, just taking what the defense gives you. And that's certainly what these teams are doing well tonight. And Rion Brown having a bit of shooter's touch there, home court advantage. And he's on 13 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. No turnovers, and he has been averaging 1.7. He's been averaging 1.7 steals a game as well, so he's continuing that good play. No turnovers. Langston Hall, Prometheus, 1 point lead. Great bounce pass. You could see it developing. 2 players, 2 defensive players go to the ball. They go too quick, they end up under the ball almost. And a perfect bounce pass round the defense. Pressy. And again, that man, Samit Gayik. He's only averaging 2 points a game. 2 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. And a steal and a half a game. So he's well above his scoring. Well above his scoring average. And his free throw percentage was 50% coming in. He's just 100% everywhere you look. Just playing a very calm game. 4 of 4 from the line, 2 of 2 from 2-point range. 4 rebounds and 1 assist. It's been a real spark for Coach Ivanovic off the bench. Kasalakis, tough shot. Going against his body, and that's not what Prometheus need at this moment. Kasalakis has had a really good game as well. There's the options off that pick and roll. Just freezes the defense, Jason Rich, and knocks it down. 32-year-old, 6'3" out of Florida State. And what a move by Langston! Langston Hall cutting through 2 defenders. You can't blink, you can't take your eye off this for a second. 1 point lead, Prometheus. Benzing, Rich, stops, fakes, kicks, shots up by Gayik. Samit Gayik tries the 3, and that's the first shot he's missed. There he now stays on the pick and roll defense, stays on the guard, and that meant that Tony Meyer could sneak underneath. So you're really seeing all the different options being played out in the pick and roll. Such an important part of professional basketball and European basketball. Now the screen from Gayik. This time, penetrate kick by Sipahi. Alexander. Ball gets stuck. Almost a steal from Brown. Jason Rich, long 2 is long. And Gayik just pursuing the offensive rebound. Ivan Buva after instructions from Coach Ivanovic, and Salustris was last man to touch that. That's nice moving. The beauty of being able to finish with both hands underneath the hoop with good touch. There's the rebounds. 27 to Prometheus, 30 to Besiktas. And a quick try by Kenan Sipahi, not quite there. One-handed pass cross court. Salustris, still Salustris, inside, Tony Meyer. No way there. There will be here though. Katsalakis misses. Jason Rich, hesitation. Langston Hall knew what he was doing. That's his second foul, so didn't want Rich to get beyond him and into the teeth of the defence, or the heart of the defence. Getting the ball in Besiktas. Rich, high screen, Buva. Rich keeps going, and there you go. Defence caught in two minds. Buva kept nice spacing, and they sort of got caught between Buva and Rich with a nice reverse layup, right hand from the left. Kenan Sipahi on Langston Hall, and there's a foul off the ball. And Rich says, yeah, you got me, ref. Yeah, it's just trying to fight his way over the screen and a little bit too physical. Sipahi takes a seat, back comes Carl Gibson, who had some minutes in the first half. Oh, nice job by Rian Brown. He's come to the party, especially with Octavius Ellis having to go down with that ankle, and he hasn't been out of play. Pull up Gibson. Nice job. Excuse me, Jason Rich for three. Just got to his spot and just elevated and knocked down the shot, and it's a tied game at 61. Langston Hall, he pulls up, shoots over Buva. (6-4) over 6-9 there. Gibson inside, nice job. Buva again. This time Tony Meyer's trying to deal with him, and with help from Salustris they knock it out of bounds. And Coach Giatris must have liked that. You've got to help your teammate out. He was isolated under the basket by Ivan Buva, who's having a really good game. It's just the matter with help. You don't want to over-help. You don't want to get too far into the help. Otherwise, the player with the ball can pass over or around. Or as we've seen today, putting some nice bounce passes in. You've just got to time your help. Edge over and then help and then recover. Offensive foul. And that's a big break for Prometheus. And they got caught up, Meyer and Buva. That's a really good matchup as well underneath. Prometheus get a bonus offense, really, on the back of the attempted inbounds from Besiktas. Here we go, there's another pick and roll. This time it's the pop. Handoff by Meyer. Now he posts up against Gibson. Kick out. One more pass. Brown under pressure. Oh, he's knocked it down. Rian Brown is doing it all from all angles, above the rim, outside the three-point line, on defense, and this time, beautiful extra pass. Pressy too late. Three-pointer. Rian Brown downtown. Timeout, Besiktas. You gotta love it. It's the Basketball Champions League 2018-2019 season. As the game leaders for Besiktas. Ivan Buva, it continues to be a real menace underneath. And there's the 2 and 3 point statistics. Prometheus really good at 2 points, 66%. And there's the kids and the families and the mums all enjoying what is a wonderful night's entertainment here in Western Greece, in Patras, the third largest city in Greece. And our Prometheus Patras going to go to 4-0, which would be a massive upset, one of the biggest surprises of the Young Basketball Champions League season so far. Jason Rich, extra pass, wide open, Pressy for 3. Good response from Besiktas, making that pass, not holding on to the ball, just frees up Pressy with a great job. Rion Brown, kick, Gikas is good for 3. Gikas from downtown. They're trading baskets, heavy punches, highly skilled teams in full flow. Jason Rich. That was a tough pass, good steal. Kasalakis backs Pressy down. Rion Brown, is he again going to make one? No, he misses. Pressy, hesitation, kick. Gibson, back to Gibson, he'll take that, and he just missed, but look who's there, Ivan Buva. Impressive all-round game from Buva. 14 points, 7 rebounds. Gikas for 3. He's right up there with Rion Brown as one of the top performers. We saw him featured before the game in the slow-mo, and that's exactly why. And almost a steal from Salustas shooting the passing lane. Inside Buva, left-hand finish. What a game. Gikas up to 13 points. 3 from 7 from behind the arc. And 7 assists. Just over 3 minutes remaining. Gikas handling the ball, facilitating as well as scoring. Gikas, he's got Buva where he wants him, and he knocks down the long 2. And the excitement in the VIP area as well. And the owner of this club, Prometheus, what an incredible last few years it's been. Division 4 of the Greek League just 4 years ago, and look at them now, and look at Robin Benzing, the big German, cutting through that defense. No problem. Now the press. Full court defense, headed up by Carl Gibson. Rion Brown, what's he got in his locker now? High screen. Maya, pick, pop, too long. Pressy gets a rebound. Pressy, 2 minutes remaining in this pulsating encounter. Group D of the Basketball Champions League. Shots up. Maya with the foul, and in comes Kenan Sapahi. Jason Rich in action. It's definitely a foul, and it's sideline. They're 4 down, Besiktas. They're 1 and 2, having lost versus Strasbourg on their home floor last week by 7. These are critical moments in the regular season for Besiktas. Benzing, Rich, who's had a big game for Besiktas. And that continues, but he's missed the layup. And Salustas rips the ball, and then he dribbles through the 2 players, asking for an intentional foul. He wants to be careful what he asked for. The refs can make those calls themselves, but he's so fired up. Salustas. Averaging just 2.7 rebounds a game. in the Basketball Champions League, and he's got 7 tonight. So more pressure. Benzing was at the forefront there, but now it's Gikas versus Pressey. Gikas, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Screen by Kasalakis. He goes away. Now he's got Benzing for 3. Just short. Big rebound, Buva. 4-point lead. 2-possession game in effect. Plenty of time here. And Buva doesn't want the 3. The Dimitris Tofalos Arena have got another. Absolute superb game on their hands. And that, in the end, they run out of options on that offense. Kenneth Sepahi had a chance to shoot when he tried to pass. There was no passing lane there. And look at this by Gazik. Oh, he's fouled. Gikas is fouled hard. But again, they force the turnovers. They drive into the passing lanes. They have big hands, they have long arms. They play to their full capacity. Benzing turns it over off the pass. Not sure if it's a foul they've called. Yes, it is, or if it was goaltending. So Gikas, 100% from the Basketball Champions League free throw line this season. Didn't take any free throws last week in the win in Bavaria against Medi Bayrout. And he's just knocked down 2 under the most extreme scrutiny. And he comes off with high fives from Langston Hall. And there's a real buzz in this crowd, and you've just got to love this team. Besiktas have played their part, and Coach Ivanovic is, how much more can he get out of this team? But Prometheus have put together a very talented squad, and without one of their main pieces, Octavius Ellis, who seems to be okay, they may be just taking precaution, not putting him back in, but they're potentially going to get a big win without him on the floor for the bulk of this game. So Besiktas, first off, they've got to match Prometheus' intensity as we see some of these highlights. That's a long 2 from Gikas. Then the steal. Then the big 3. And him and Rion Brown has been fantastic. And then that Benzing couldn't deal with the pass. And Shipahi, all he could do was foul. So this is the situation here in Patras. Just under a minute remaining. 2-possession game. Pressey hesitates. Such a tough shot. And Jason Rich was open because Salustris had helped. And with Pressey only being 5'10", tough for him to get the shot off in the trees. And there's a foul up the other end. That should have been a penetrate and kick, and I'm sure Pressey knows that. And Rich then having to foul early. But he's not in foul trouble, but Besiktas are in trouble in this game, especially if Langston Hall knocks these down. He's 100% from the line prior to this game, from the free throw line. And that's another thing that Prometheus have got, is that they have good free throw shooters, and they're proving to be great in pressure situation. Shots up and off. Offensive rebounds, Kenneth Sepahi backs down. They need 3s though. Great pass, Jason Rich. 2-possession game. Plenty of time still. Across the baseline. Clock stopped. And Besiktas have never lost to Greek opposition in the 4 games that they have played over the 3 years they've been in the Basketball Champions League. They're on the verge of finishing that record as Prometheus Patras continue their surge to being in the conversation of one of the top teams in the Basketball Champions League and in Greece. Buva for 3 is long, ball's loose. Rion Brown saves it. Great job by Rion Brown. Salustris has been so instrumental. Shots up by Maya. And the clock runs down as, Sorelis with that final shot from the corner. And this is a fantastic win. And the fans and the team and the coach will know that this is a huge statement to the rest of Group D. Prometheus Patras 80, Besiktas Sompo Japan 72. As the teams congratulate each other and the young fans run on the court, and I'm sure the children of some of the players. Let's look at some of the stats for tonight. Prometheus was really good from 2-point range, 66.7%. 13 turnovers for Besiktas, so that's 7 below the average, and there's Rion Brown's young son. He'd be so proud of his father. And maybe he'd be a baller soon. Game leaders, Brown with 18, Buva with 18 and 8 rebounds, 8 assists for Rich. But Gikas was not far behind him on the assist trail with 7. There's your top scorers. Brown and Gikas outstanding. Hall not far behind. Buva, Alexander and Rich. And the crowd here in the rookie team for the Basketball Champions League. Prometheus, they don't play like rookies. They've got a superb roster led by that man, Nikos Gikas, and Rion Brown to an amazing victory tonight. And the crowd are they really feel part of this. And they have contributed with all the noise and the horns to an amazing result for Prometheus, and they've been able to see it off against strong Turkish opposition. Let's look at some of the highlights. There's plenty of them. And again, the pick and roll. 2 players caught in 2 minds. And Tony Mayer was able to sneak in behind. Jason Rich, who was outstanding for Besiktas in a losing battle, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, but 4 turnovers. And this was big. Rion Brown, extra pass from Kasselakis. And he's absolutely loving that. And he must be loving playing for this team because they share the ball. The ball doesn't stick. You know, they've scored 80 points tonight, but they get good looks. And there's Pressey for 3 in the corner. But they've just outworked at times. They've shared the ball. They've hit big shots. They've made big defensive plays as well. And off that very high screen by Kasselakis. And there's another way of playing the pick and roll. Attack it and then just drop it over to Buva. Gikas just ends up with the big player on him, just gets him on skates and knocks down the long range 2. And there was Benzing going through. So we'll leave you with the highlights. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's a big win for Prometheus Patras. They go to 4-0. Besiktas Sompo Japan have some work to do. Just 4 teams will qualify from the four groups of 8 to the round of 16. And at the moment, Prometheus Patras are in prime position to do that. Hope you've enjoyed the action from Group D of the Basketball Champions League. More games still going on on livebasketball.tv. Do tune in as we see the Group D standings. That confirms Prometheus Patras in second and Besiktas Sompo Japan at the moment in 7th spot. Good night. Enjoy the rest of your evening.